I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keeta. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy.
Welcome in to the WAG show. This is episode 45. It is Friday, April 14th. I'm your host, Ben Hostler. We are here to talk about today's best bets. Apologies for the late start. My computer decided to wait until 2:58 p.m. today. And then it restarted and updated. So it was taking forever. So apologies for the late start, but we're here to talk about today's best bets. If you guys have any questions about any lines, any props, anything, post it in the chat. And I'm going to go through this baseball slate. Big baseball slate tonight. We have 2 play-in games, and then the NBA playoffs start tomorrow. I am going to the Cavs game tomorrow versus the Knicks. So I'll have I might put out a same game parlay or something for the games. So I'll be there. MLB bets 4-1 yesterday, or 3-1, one of the two. We're 52-34 for the season. I'm up over 21 units. Incredible MLB season. I have 6 more plays posted for tonight for premium members. A lot of the lines moved. We got really good CLV yesterday. I think we're gonna get it today as well, for the most part. But, I do have a couple plays I'm going to give out here on the stream. I'm going to go through the baseball games. We'll talk. We can talk about the basketball games too. I kind of like the other day, I don't really have a firm take. The Heat looked so bad against Atlanta, even at home. It's tough for me to pick them here. I thought that Spoelstra is good enough of a coach to just get them over the hump, even though they've underwhelmed this season. That was not the case. They got upset. I think the Bulls could beat them, so I don't have a firm take on that game. I'll be rooting for the Thunder again against the Timberwolves. Hopefully the Thunder win. I think it'd be fun to see the Thunder in the playoffs. So I don't have any bets on those 2 games, but I'll be rooting for the Thunder. I think the Bulls could definitely upset. That's a stay-away spot for me. I don't really want to bet that game. As far as the playoff series go, once we get that, we kind of talked about that a little bit yesterday. I lean Cavs in, I think it's probably going to go 6 or 7. You can get Cavs in 6 at plus 490 on FanDuel. You can get Cavs in 7 at plus 350. I obviously prefer taking shots at that more so than the minus 205 for Cavs to win the series. So that's my take there. Sixers Nets. Sixers are going to just roll the Nets, I think. So you could get, let me see here. You could get Sixers in a sweep at plus 270 or in a Sixers in 5 at plus 175. I would lean towards those as opposed to the minus 1,000. series price for the 76ers. Sixers in a sweep at plus 270, I think. Holds some value. I think they're just going to roll the Nets. Clippers Suns, I'm staying away from. Don't know what to do with that series. I think Phoenix wins, but it's weird enough that I'm not going to bet on it. I think the Warriors beat the Kings, but I don't like minus 275 series price for the Warriors. I think that if you can find Kings to win game 1 and Golden State Warriors to win the series plus 200 on FanDuel, I like that. I think that holds some value. Warriors in 6 or 5 holds some value to me, but I think the Warriors definitely win there. Lakers, Grizzlies. Oh man, I've gone back and forth. I still don't have a take here. Maybe like Grizzlies and Lakers to win the series plus 310. Grizzlies to win game 1, Lakers to win the series plus 310 is interesting, but this is strange. Celtics are going to roll the Hawks. I don't think that's going to be that close of a series. I think the Celtics are going to roll them. So that's my thoughts on the series. I think Nuggets will probably comfortably beat whoever they play, and the Bucks will roll. It doesn't matter who gets in from this Eastern Conference game. The Bucks are going to roll them regardless. The Bucks are so good when they're healthy that I don't know. They might sweep. They might sweep the Bulls or the Heat, I think. Maybe the Heat could steal a game or something, but the Bucks are going to roll. So that's my thoughts on basketball. As far as baseball goes, pull up the live trends tool here. This is a free tool. You guys can access this every single day. First thing I've noticed, or one play I like, you can still get 9.5 on FanDuel. This Phillies Reds over 9.5. It's moved up to 10 everywhere except for FanDuel. Let me just double check that's still there. It's still 9.5 on FanDuel. It's juiced minus 122, but you can still get 9.5. Pretty good bet, I think. Decent hitting weather. It's supposed to rain a little bit, and the ball always flies a little bit better in Cincy after the rain as well. Good hitting environment. 2 definitely beatable pitchers. So I think the over in that game holds some appeal. I think Overton is obviously not a very good pitcher. Taijuan Walker is average. I don't really have a lean to the side of the game, but I think there'll definitely be some runs being scored there. Diamondbacks, Marlins. We have Bumgarner and Rogers. I don't really have a lean here. I mean, there's small, sharp action on the Diamondbacks. I told you guys the first week of the season that I was probably going to be betting on the Diamondbacks a lot this year. I think that anytime the Diamondbacks are like over plus 130 dogs, they're probably going to grade out as a pretty good bet. They've been one of the most profitable teams so far this season already. So I don't have any plays here, but if you were looking for a side, I would lean Diamondbacks in this one over Trevor Rogers and the Miami Marlins. Giants Tigers. So this is an interesting game. There's kind of a dichotomy in this game. So we have the Tigers, who are historically bad versus right-handed pitching. They're still bad against lefties, but it's nowhere near as bad as they are against righties. They're really, really bad against righties. Lefties, they're bad, but it's not like the end of the world. It's not like must use someone against them every single time that it's a lefty. Now, that being said, Sean Manaea is pitching for the Giants, and I said it. I told people in Discord this like a week and a half ago. But if you guys don't know, Sean Manaea, if you guys don't know what Driveline baseball is, it's like basically like a place where a lot of MLB players will go, college players too, but a lot of MLB players will go there in the off season, and they're very analytical in how they approach the game, and they're really helpful in terms of their training for a lot of these baseball players. So a lot we've seen a lot of like guys that were approaching the end of their career or kind of just middling in their career, and they've gone to Driveline and kind of revitalized their career based off some of the tweaks that they've been able to make there from some of their research and training. And Sean Manaea spent a lot of his time in the offseason at Driveline. His velocity is way up. He's thrown way harder than he's ever thrown the last few years. And I think that Sean Manaea has San Francisco's already very smart when it comes to pitchers anyways. So you couple that in with the fact that you get this velocity jump, And I think Sean Manaea can have a decent season. So this is a weird situation where typically when the Tigers are big dogs against a lefty, it's more valuable to take them because they're not as bad against lefties as they are righties. But at the same time, I'm kind of on this Sean Manaea camp, and I'm confident in him. So I don't have any plays here. If I was leaning a place, I would go Giants, though. But I don't have any plays there. I just think it's an interesting matchup. Twins Yankees. Yesterday this was the best bet I've ever hit. I literally actually considered retiring from gambling because you guys saw the screenshot. I posted at 2 a.m. on Thursday, 2 a.m. So Wednesday night, Thursday morning, 2 a.m. I posted over Twins Yankees, over 8 runs. We got it at plus 100 on Caesars. It closed at 9, and the Minnesota Twins scored 9 runs in the top of the first inning. This will never happen again. Never again will we take a bet in baseball and it cash in one half of the first inning. I mean, that was absolutely insane. That was the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like, that was just so fun. So, like, I strongly considered just not gambling anymore because winning that bet was so amazing. Now, tonight, I think that with Cortez hasn't looked great this season, but I think with him back on the hill against a young pitcher, Joe Ryan is a legitimate pitcher. I told you guys this yesterday. Like, he struggles with giving up power sometimes because he's a fly ball pitcher, but his stuff is good, and he gets a lot of strikeouts, and he was shoving last night. This is a different situation with a really young, inexperienced pitcher that we just haven't seen much of. Yankees have, one of their best pitchers on the mound. I would lean Yankees here, even after that debacle for them last night. Guardians, Nationals, lean Guardians here, but it's a cautious lean. Like, you can see there is some sharp money coming in. 79% of the bets are on Guardians money line, but 90% of the money. So some pretty big bets coming in on the Guardians, but it's a cautious lean towards the Guardians for me. It's really good hitting weather here in Washington, D.C. tonight. Pretty hot, winds blowing out, which you can see why, there's some sharp money on the over there. I do think there'll be some runs scored here. Spike, what's up? This is a cautious lean towards the Guardians for me. Trevor Williams is bad, which is why I think the Guardians offense is going to have a good night. But on the opposite side, Cal Quantrill, there's a number of pitchers that we've kind of gone through that have been struggling. Blake Snell is a big example, struggling with the pitch clock. Cal Quantrill is someone that I think is going to struggle with the pitch clock. He was horrible, or he's been horrible this season already. So, yeah, it's a cautious lean to the Guardians. I think the Guardians will win, but it's a cautious lean because I'm not confident in Cal Quantrill right now. So cautious lean towards the Guardians, definite lean towards the over. I think there'll be plenty of offense in that game. Rays, Blue Jays. This is one of the most fun games of the night here. We have Jose Barrios on the hill for the Blue Jays against Drew Rasmussen. Rasmussen's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now, he's only made 2 starts. Obviously, we're early in the year against 2 easy opponents, but his stuff has been really good. CSW percentages up there, top 2 or 3 on this slate. He's looked really good. Now, the Blue Jays lineup, that's a whole different animal, but he's looked really, really good. Jose Barrios obviously has not looked good. He hasn't looked good since he joined the Toronto Blue Jays. He didn't look good in spring training, and I don't know. The fact of the matter is he's still getting swings and misses, but his fastball is just not good anymore. He's refused to scrap his fastball. His fastball, he's given up over a 400 batting average, like 81% hard hit rate on his fastball. Like, his four-seam fastball's been horrible, and he has not dialed it back. He's still throwing a lot of fastballs, and that's been a big part of why he's been struggling. The Rays have been feasting on bad fastballs for the entire season. The Nationals and the A's pounded them with bad fastballs, and they teed off. And then they got in here with the Red Sox, and I was like, maybe the Red Sox will stop throwing them fastballs. And, they can win a game. That hasn't happened. Now, there are times, even though the math says that the Rays should have lost like 6 games ago, in baseball, things happen like this. Teams get rolling. They're going for history tonight. 14-0. It would be the first time they tied the record at 13-0 for modern baseball. 14-0 would be the record. It hasn't been done since like 1888. So I don't know what to make of this game. I think I lean towards the Rays winning. I mean, they've come this far. They might as well win one more and set the record. I think that, Berrios is a beatable matchup if he's going to throw them fastballs. I mean, look at their lineup. The Tampa Bay Rays lineup against fastballs. I'm gonna read this, guys. I'm gonna read this off to you guys. Yandy Diaz. I'll go expected WOBA against fastballs for the Rays lineup. Yandy Diaz 533. Brandon Lau 594. Randy Arozarena 438. Wander Franco 442. Luke Raley 650. Christian Bethancourt 552 expected WOBA against fastballs. Josh Lowe 497. They tee off on fastballs. So if Jose Berrios is going to come in here again tonight and just refuse to cut back on his four-seam fastball, he's going to give up runs. Now, I think that definitely the Blue Jays can get some runs on Rasmussen. I mean, they're pretty good overall against right-handed pitching. The top 6 batters in their lineup all have a WOBA above, 335 against right-handed pitching. It's a good lineup. So I'll be curious to see what happens. I'll be watching it just to see if the Rays make history. Definitely lean towards the Rays though, just because they've come this far. They might as well win one more game, and then they can lose after that. Orioles, White Sox, big lean towards the Orioles for me here. I wrote it up in a couple of my articles today, but Mike Clevenger, man, just doesn't look good. His expected ERA is over 8. It's one of the highest expected ERAs in baseball, despite his 3.50 actual ERA. He's going to get rocked here eventually. He's not striking guys out. He's walking a lot of hitters. This Orioles lineup is not bad at all. So even though they're on the road, I like the Orioles in the spot. Definitely lead towards them. I think they're going to put some runs up on Mike Clevenger tonight. So, and on the opposite side of that, Tyler Wells is not a bad pitcher. Tyler Wells is the opposite of Mike Clevenger, where his expected stats are much lower than his actual stats. And, the White Sox lineup, we saw this problem last year. Coming into last year, a lot of people were just really high on the White Sox in general, but their lineup has struggled, especially against righties. Since the start of 2022, their projected lineup, just a 291 WOBA against right-handed pitching. One guy on the lineup, it's Andrew Benintendi, has a WOBA above 325 against right-hand pitching. It's just not a good lineup. There's definitely some strikeouts there to be had too. So Tyler Wells, I think, is a little bit underrated. Mike Clevenger, I think, is overrated. So we lean towards the Orioles there. Angels, Red Sox. I didn't look at this game a ton. I don't have any plays here. So if you guys like a play in the Angels, Red Sox, drop it in there. But I don't have any leans here. Same thing can be said for Rangers, Astros. I mean, I'm not a Luis Garcia fan. I think he's overrated. I'm not a huge Martin Perez fan. I think typically, betting on the Astros against a left-handed pitcher makes sense, but I don't really have anything here. Braves, Royals, I don't have any plays here, but I can see both sides of this. I could see betting the Royals because Charlie Morton has struggled to begin this season. And the Royals they're not they're not a great offense, but they're not terrible. Now, on the other side of that, Charlie Morton, the last few years, has been a notorious slow starter. He's really old. He's an old pitcher. So it's kind of like, when you start up, I guess if you have like a really old car and you go to start it, maybe, sometimes it's not starting up. But eventually, once it starts up, it gets going. So Charlie Morton will be fine. By the time we get to June, Charlie Morton will be Charlie Morton of the last few years. So we'll be completely fine. For right now, he's struggling because it's the beginning of the year and he's done that the last few years. So I could see maybe he turns around tonight and has a good start. I can see both sides of this. So I don't really have a lean here. If you had a gun to my head, I would pick probably Royals. But interesting side of both games. I do like Vinny Pasquantino tonight. You can bet him to hit a home run at pretty high odds, almost plus 600 for his home run odds. matches up really well against Morton's pitch mix. He obviously has the most power in this Royals lineup. So Vinny P, sign me up for some of him tonight. I like that spot. Spike said he's on Nate Lowe's fantasy score for Texas. Okay. Luis Garcia is heavily overrated, so I don't mind picking on him with any bats. But sign me up for Vinny P. Sprinkle a little home run. You could take his over total bases, sprinkle a home run. That would be my main play from the Braves-Royals game. Pirates-Cardinals don't have a lead here. They're sharp money on the Cards here, but I think Oviedo is a better pitcher than Woodford. Woodford's pretty horrible. So I can't, there's no way people are laying minus 155 on Woodford. That can't be real. There's no way I'm doing that. I would rather just stay away from the game than bet anything there. So that game's a pass for me. Mets, A's, big lean on the Mets for me today. James Kaprielian's not good. Kodai Senga is the best pitcher on the slate. I think Kodai Senga, it's really tough for pitchers to win Rookie of the Year, but I think he has a legitimate chance to do it. He's that good. Over 12% swinging strikes. He's top 12 in CSW percentage this season. Two starts, small sample, and both were against the Marlins. But this is an even better matchup than the Marlins. The A's lineup against right-handed pitching is horrible. They strike out a lot. It's good pitching weather. It's a good pitching ballpark. So big lean towards the Mets here. I cannot lay minus 225 on any team, so I would look maybe to bet them first 5. We took them first 5 run line. I'm not sure if that line's moved at all. Let me check. We got it at minus 125. Yeah, it's minus 142 now. So I would prefer betting the first 5 than the full game, but I definitely think the Mets win here. I think there's value on the Mets. We took Kodai Senga over 5.5 strikeouts last night. The line moved to 6.5. I also laddered his strikeouts up to 10 plus. Small unit plays on 7 plus, 8 plus, 9 plus. I think he's going to have a good start tonight, and I think the Mets win. You could parlay Mets. You could throw Mets money line in a parlay maybe to bring that 225 down with something else. Speaking of that next game, Padres. I like Padres money line. I haven't bet it right now, but I told you guys typically I don't go over minus 150, but I think minus 162 I'm good with on Padres. I think the Padres win the game tonight. Good spot for the Padres at home. There's sharp money coming in on them. 85% of the money, despite 76% of the bets. So some big bets coming in on San Diego. Michael Wacha, I think, is going to have a good start tonight. I know the Padres have been bad against lefties this season, but historically they have really good hitters against lefties. Juan Soto's always been good lefty on lefty. Manny Machado crushes lefties. Nelson Cruz is old, but for his career, amazing numbers against left-handed pitching. Obviously, Xander Bogaerts is good. So I lean Padres here. I think Padres win the game tonight. And then we'll finish up with these last 2 games. I don't really have any plays here. Cubs, Dodgers. I actually like Justin Steele to have a pretty good year here, but I don't want to bet him against this lineup. So I'll probably just be passing on this game as a whole. Same with Rockies, Mariners. Kind of a weird game. Marco Gonzalez, Austin Gomber. 2 pitchers I don't really love. So no leans in those last 2 games really. So if you guys want free bets for today, I already told you guys, if you can get that Phillies Reds at 9.5 still, which it is on FanDuel, I would take that. Over 9.5 for Phillies Reds looks pretty good. Vinny Pasquantino, sprinkle him for a home run, and big lean for me on Mets and Padres today. I think those 2 teams win. So that's the spots I'm looking at. This would be a quicker stream today because I have some stuff I got to do after. If you guys have any further questions, I will be in the Discord. You can hit me up in there, betkarmachat.com. For free access, sign up for a BetKarma premium package if you want the premium channels and get access to my bets, Spike's picks, the prop predictor as well. Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern is when we do the stream, so I'll be back on Monday. If for some reason you're going to the Cavs game tomorrow, if you see me, say what's up. I'll either tweet out or I'll post a same game parlay for the Cavs game tomorrow at some point since I'm going to the game. But good luck with your bets tonight, guys. And I'll be back on Monday to talk about the weekend and everything that happened in between. So good luck tonight, guys. I'll see you on Monday.